This is Bear Field in Tremont, right on the border between Tremont and Garland. And boy, over the years have Logan and Bear River gone at it. Had some great football games. I've been over here in the cold and the snow, been over here on hot days and warm ones. A couple of times over here. Logan's had some great visits during their state championship years, and now with a chance to win the region title tonight, they're hoping this will be a good visit as well. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Lewis. Mike Hansen joining me once again on KBNU and on the Valley Channel for our coverage of the Grizzlies and the Bears tonight. The Bears come in again with a region record of 2-3. They did win last week against Ben Lomond. The Grizzlies come in 4-1, and this is an important football game for really both sides. Bear River wants to get a third-place seed if they can win, now that Skyview's been eliminated because of their forfeit and their season being declared over. And Logan wants to win, Mike, to have that home field advantage and be the #1 seed out of the region.
Well, it always feels great to be the #1 seed, and of course have a lot to play for there. So they've got a big game over here against a good Bear River team. I think they're better than the record indicates, and I know Perry feels that way. And so they want to go into the #1 seed. Even though they may share the region title, they can still say, hey, we were the best in the region, we are the #1 seed. So that's a pride thing, and that's something to feel good about.
They just reenacted the coin toss that they had earlier with Logan captains Holmes and Beathers and Sampson and Thornley. I think I missed, it's Guerrero instead of Sampson out there as one of the captains. Bear River will kick off to Logan. So the Bear defense on the field first will be at nose guard, Chris Taylor. I'm sorry, they're going to start Ryan Rustin because of Taylor's got a bad injury, I guess. 5'10", 240-pound sophomore will be their nose tackle in Ryan Rustin. Listen to some of these sizes. Jed Gibbs, a defensive tackle, 6'1", 225, a junior. Shane Nelson, 6'1", 180, a junior. Outside linebackers, Eric Anderson, 6 feet, 197, a junior. Wade Nesson, 6 feet, 178, and a senior. The inside linebackers are running backs at fullback. Donnie Allred, 6 feet, 199, a junior, and Stuart Peterson, 5'11", 205, a junior. So you can see this is going to be a pretty good team next year. Cornerbacks are Clint Thomas, a senior, 5'8", 155, and Jeff Peterson at 6'1", 178, a senior. Strong safety Clint Haddock, he's 5'9", 185, and a junior. And Quentin Stevens is the free safety. He's 5'11", 162, and a senior. Back deep for the Logan Grizzlies, far side of the field is Mark Thornley. Near side of the field is Mike Anderson, so he's back after that injury last week. On the season, Anderson averaging about 17.8 a kickoff return, Thornley averaging about 13.3. And the kickoff man is Jason Hawes for the Bear River Bears, kicking out of the south towards the north. And here we go with Bear River and Logan on the Valley Channel and on TVNU. And there's Hawes' high kickoff, not deep. It goes towards Anderson at the 21-yard line. Anderson cradles it, comes behind a blocker, runs into a red jersey at the 34. And the tackler for Bear River was Nesson, Wade Field. They're going to mark it right to the 35-yard line, so give him a 14-yard run back, and so the Grizzlies get pretty good field position at their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Quarterback is Jared Johnson, the sophomore. Johnson has thrown on the season 39%, 258 yards. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. And did we have a penalty on the play?
If it was a flag right in the middle of the field that we didn't see, and they're going to go a 15-yard penalty on Bear River
at the end of the play for a face mask. And that must not have been on the tackle where it was thrown over there.
Away from where the tackle was. Must have been just on one of the Logan blocks, and the Bear River Bear trying to fight off the block, pulled the face mask, and a 15-yard penalty.
So we got Meng at center, Sampson and Beathers the guards, and Peacock and Holmes the tackles. The tight end Hansen lines up on the right side, an offset eye with Anderson behind. Quarterback Johnson and Guerrero over to the right side in the backfield. And here's the handoff to Mike Anderson. Breaks off the first tackle opportunity. Second one can't get him. He gets to the Bear River 45, maybe to the 44. He is pushed back. Haddock, that strong safety. And so the run by Anderson just across the 45. We'll call it the 44-yard line of Bear River. So it's a 6-yard run by Mike, and that's a good start for the sophomore, who is now closing in on a 450-yard season so far.
Well, Anderson averages about a little over 6 yards a carry. He's run for 420 yards, as you mentioned. His longest run from scrimmage last week against the Skyview Bobcats. That was a big touchdown for the Grizzlies.
Dunn into the game, and Larson, the other outside receivers, and they'll go to the other side. Mark Thompson comes out on this play. 2nd down and 4 for Logan at the Bear River 44. Slot to the right side, near side hash. They'll pitch the ball to Anderson, run into the slot side of the field. Anderson hit pretty hard there as he tried to run by Stuart Peterson, an inside linebacker, who made the tackle. Anderson running behind the block of Guerrero, picked up 2 yards down to the 42-yard line. Logan will have 3rd and 2 coming up. Very important play. The 2 running backs for Bear River, both of them have about 400 yards in Allred and Peterson, so we see a lot of younger runners. Will be back next year with a lot of yards.
And one thing Logan would like to do also in this ball game, they line up in the slot right on that play and ran to the right side. They'll also come back to the weak side and run away from the slot. They feel like Bear River may be vulnerable to that play.
They got a slot left. Let's see what Logan does here on a big 3rd down and 2 play. On the season, they're getting about 30% of their 3rd downs converted. Off tackle, Guerrero, block Anderson. 1st down, Grizzlies. 35, 30, Guerrero outside, 25, 20, down the sidelines, and Allred doesn't get him. It's a Logan touchdown. Off of a 3rd down and 2 play. Great block by Mike Anderson that helped Guerrero, but Guerrero showed some speed around the corner.
Guerrero ran away from Anderson, who was chasing, Allred that was chasing him. Just a loft tackle off the left tackle, left side of the offensive line. Mike Anderson switching roles from the tailback to the fullback. He comes up with a good lead block right on the defensive end that seals that outside and allows Guerrero to break to the outside. And he breaks down the left side for the Grizzlies.
Logan muddle huddles after the 42-yard touchdown run by Guerrero. Now they come back to the middle of the field to line up with Dunn, the holder. The point after try here from Aaron Morrison. He's had a good season. He's made 14 out of 15. The young kicker, sophomore. There's a good quick snap back to high kick, and it's good. And we have a timeout on the field, and Logan has a quick lead in the first 2 minutes. 7-0 Logan, 10 minutes to go back after this timeout.
Ah, leisure time. You know, there's nothing like getting where you want to go. That's why Jack's Tire and Oil have always sold Michelin. I guess our quality product and honest service has kept us in northern Utah for over 40 years. Since my son and his boys have taken over the business, I've got lots of leisure time. That's why I take my Michelin wherever I go.
I would recommend Bridgerland Applied Technology Center to anyone who is interested in finding a job. The training is excellent, the job placement is high, and we've got something here for everybody.
Whether you're still in high school or would like to learn a new skill, the BATC is the place you've been looking for. With 12 full-time, 19 high school, and hundreds of individualized open-entry, open-exit programs to pick from. The BATC is the answer for your future. The BATC, employment through training.
Because Logan's offside on the kickoff. And they're pointing right now at, I think it's Jepson that they're pointing at, is it? Or is it Nate Dunn? Yeah, it looks like they were pointing at Dunn. In any case, the Grizzlies have just scored a 65-yard drive in 3 plays. And again, it was Tony Guerrero going the last 42 yards. And that's his longest run by far. And that now gives Logan, for the first time ever,
4 200-yard rushing season.
Under Perry
Christensen. So that's great. His previous long was 23 yards prior to that play.
So he shattered the 200-yard mark there. He only needed 4 yards coming in. So now Logan will have to kick off from the 35-yard line. And Bear River's deep people move up a bit. Clint Thomas to this side of the field, and very, very talented Wade Barris to the far side. They like to get the ball to him. I think he's caught like 28 passes this year and been a part of a lot of special teams for him. And then Toon, their tight end, is another guy they'll really try to go to with their offense. We'll give you their lineup here in just a second if we get a chance. Morrison drives a kick low. And it goes right in between both of them to the end zone. So Logan loses 5 yards with the first penalty of the game, and there's no run back. So Bear River will start at the 20 with Riley Nelson, the senior quarterback. He'll have either Donnie Allred or Stuart Peterson as the running back or the fullback. The A-back will be Reggie Anger. He'll be sometimes in the backfield, most of the time in a slot or a wing. The split end is Jason Haas, the flanker Wade Barris, the tight end is Ryan Toon. And then along the line, Bay Jensen at center, Chris Jensen at one guard, Courtney Wood the other guard, Bobby Barrett at one tackle, and Bretton Munns the other tackle, and all of them are about 200 pounds on that line. The runner is Stuart Peterson behind Riley Nelson. It's a fake to Peterson. It's a pass over the middle, and it's incomplete. And wow, as soon as he threw the ball behind the intended receiver, coming off the line trying to make the catch was Josh Judkins. Mark Thornley, I think, came up and really put a lick on him from free safety.
The ball was just underthrown. One of Bear River's favorite plays, a play-action pass, and they look for Judkins down the middle of the field. And Thornley literally getting there. The ball's up and maybe another foot or two. Judkins comes up with the catch. As it is, he drops the ball, and we got a 2nd and 10 for Bear River.
Defensive front for Logan is Holmes, Bracken, Peacock, and Sampson. Guerrero at one outside backer, Bunch on the other side. Inside, McLeod and James. Sedgwick on one corner. Here's Nelson on second down. Looks right, now he looks left. He drills it over there. And Haas, did he hold on? He looks like he did. He was juggling the ball, but he held on close to a first down at the 30. A little look-in play. Immediately the tackle over there by Saunders, the corner. It is just shy of a first down. We'll call it a 9-yard pass play. It'll be 3rd down and 1 after a 9-yard throw.
Charlie Nelson, just an average-sized quarterback. He's 5'10", 160. He's a senior, but he's got a pretty good arm there, and it will be a test for the Logan defensive back.
Now they go to their powerhouse backfield. They got 3 guys back there and trying to pick up the yard, and Logan may have encroached. No flags, and Logan looks like he did the job as he tried to run to the left side. I thought Logan might have gone across the line, but there were no flags on the play. Nice play by Danny Holmes to make the stop over there. No gain on the play. The ball carrier was Donnie Allred, and Allred doesn't get anything out of it. It'll be 4th down, and Bear will have to punt. In fact, he lost a yard back to the 28-yard line, a loss of a yard. So that's a great job by Logan's defense.
Well, they had lined up in that power formation, ran off the left side right behind the guard, and Logan's right side of the defensive line and linebacker.
Here's Nelson to punt. He kicks it away. It's high, gets up into the lights. It bounces at about the 50. There's a bounce to Thornley. He picks it up and gets 1 yard on the punt return. He's wrestled down by Ryan Toon, that tight end, but Logan will again have good field position. Logan leading 7-0. That punt right there by Nelson went 27 yards. So the Grizzlies will start at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10, and again they scored on a long run to start the game. On the 3rd play, Guerrero went 42 yards. Logan got a nice penalty on the kickoff return, a face masking that helped out. And now the Grizzlies again with pretty good field position. Guerrero and Anderson behind Johnson. They're up to the line now. Ball on this near side hash mark towards us. We're on the east sideline looking back at the field. And here's an off-tackle run right, Mike Anderson, and he doesn't get much. Wade Nesson, the outside linebacker, crashed down, got him around the ankles. And then it was Clint Haddock coming up from strong safety that helped finish the play at the 48-yard line. That's a 2 by the sophomore Anderson. Grizzlies 2nd down and 8. We're on cellular tonight from Rocky Mountain Cellular and U.S. West Cellular. Cache Valley's #1 agent for U.S. West Cellular, Rocky Mountain Cellular. Again, see them for all your cellular phone needs and U.S. West Cellular connections. 7:45 to go in the first quarter. Now Logan will go with a straight I formation on 2nd down and 8. In motion goes Nate Dunn to the far side of the field. Fake to Guerrero, hand off Anderson. Oh, he gets pounded by Allred. Nice play by the inside linebacker, filling the gap. And Donnie Allred does the job. And they're going to mark, though, Mike Anderson up to the 49-yard line. So he got 1 yard out of the run before he's pushed back. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Well, it looked like a kind of a generous spot to me by the official, because Anderson, as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, Allred there was filling the hole and did a great job pushing Anderson back. But the official felt like maybe his forward progress got a yard. Now you got a 3rd and long situation, probably Logan's first passing down of the game.
17-4 on the year. Johnson is throwing the ball. He's got a slot left with Dunn and Larson outside of him. Split backs. Short drop by Johnson. He throws to Anderson, who makes the catch, and then he's immediately knocked back. It's going to be short of a first down. He held on. Thomas hit him pretty hard along with inside linebacker Peterson. The pass reception down to the Bear River 45, a little quick dump off for 6 yards. It's 4th and a yard for Logan at the Bears 45-yard line. They're going for it.
Bears going to go for it, taking a little bit of a chance. If they don't get the first down here, Bear River's got great field position on their own 45-yard line, but Perry has the confidence in his offensive line that they could get the job done here on this 4th down.
Let's see if Bear River now can hold Logan, and this is a key play because they could get great field position. Here's Johnson's count. Hands off Guerrero, coming left side. He's got the first down. He's to the 45. Same play, scored the touchdown on, and he's driven out of bounds at the 33-yard line of Bear River. So that play obviously is working tonight. Bear River's going to have to make an adjustment. That's a 12-yard run by Guerrero for the first down.
Just a little off tackle again to the left side with Mike Anderson on the lead block. You got Ryan Mang getting upfield on the linebacker. So there's not very much inside-out pursuit, and it's up to the Bear River outside linebackers and corners to make the play, and they didn't step up quick enough, and that's the first down for the Grizzlies.
Your audio and video headquarters, Lynn's Audio and Video, out on the highway north of Logan, one of our game sponsors. Logan has their 2nd first down of the night. They're at the Bear 33, leading 7-0, and here's Johnson off. And here's a Rash Malik into the secondary with a little quick run, and we haven't seen much of a Rash lately, and a Rash takes it down to the 24-yard line of the Bears. before he is tackled by Clint Haddock, who already has had a lot of tackles tonight. That's a 9-yard run by Malik. Logan will have second and a yard.
Rash Malik has carried the ball 62 times. He's averaging 25 yards a carry. His longest run from scrimmage was a 60-yarder against the Ogden Tigers earlier in the year.
But since his 95-yard game against Ogden, since then has only been 23 yards, and in the last 2 games, he's only had 2 and 1 yards. So that's a big run for him. Now it's Thornley at tailback who gets counted pretty good, but I think Thornley has the first down. Allred was the guy who cracked him pretty good back, and then Stuart Peterson also helping, but it's a first down run for Thornley off tackle right. They're going to mark it down to the 21 of the Bears. That's a 3-yard run and another Logan 1st and 10.
Another dimension that the Grizzlies have is Thornley, so you have really basically 3 tailbacks that Perry Christensen can work with.
In fact, Perry was even telling me before the game, you might see Thornley at quarterback tonight at times if they run a different particular scheme they've worked on. And now we have a timeout called, and the timeout is called because of some equipment problems for a Bear River player, and the clock's still running. 5:04, 5:03, 5:02. It's still running. It's still running. Oh, they finally stopped it at 5:01. Now they say run it again, so the guy just turns it right back on after he let it run for 15 seconds. Here's Johnson back on a play-action fake, standing in the pocket, left-hand side pass. Oh, through the hands of Rick Hansen, but there's a flag because Haddock had the, laying on his back, and Hansen still almost made a great catch.
Little tight end drag. They just drag Hansen about 10, 15 yards downfield across the middle, and the defensive back Haddock just with that right arm hanging on his back, trying to reach over with the left hand and knock it down, but the official there to see that, so it's going to be 15 yards and a Grizzly first down.
You know, that's one of Bear River's favorite plays, too. They love to drag the tight end across the formation like Logan does. And now they're going to mark that one off. That'll be half the distance to the goal. It should be an automatic first down. They're going to mark it back to about the 11-yard line. So that's a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down for Logan. They're going to mark it at the 11, so the Grizzlies can still get a first down without scoring. We're at 4:47 left. First quarter, it's a 7-0 ball game, Logan, and they're threatening again. Slot left, only one. Johnson looks left, throws for Mike Anderson. He's got it, and a touchdown. Logan flooded 2 receivers to this left side, and Anderson was underneath the deep receiver Thornley for the touchdown. That's an 11-yard touchdown, and that's Jared Johnson's first touchdown pass.
Well, Jared Johnson just, didn't he have one last week?
Yeah, he did. That's true. I'm sorry, he did. It's not on the stat sheet here. We forgot to type it in. My typers.
Boy, I was just confused.
Yes, that's his second. That's his second.
We saw a great play last week against Skyview.
For the 30, I forgot about that. I look at the stat sheet and don't remember games. Nice play there by Logan. Yeah, we'll be here. Okay, there's the snap. Oh, Bear River got a good rush, but he still kicked it through. Timeout on the field with 4:42 left, and Logan has a 14-0 lead.
By the time you're hungry enough for lunch at Taco Time, we've all put in a hard day's work. While the other guys are sound asleep, never dreaming of going to so much trouble. We're wide awake and starting fresh. At Taco Time, we've got people to take care of. Be one of them. Get a soft taco for only 99 cents for a limited time at participating Taco Time restaurants. We make it fresh every day. Taco Time.
Hey, I thought you were a Honda for life guy, huh? What happened?
Well, this happened.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I love the way it drives. Handling, the control. It just feels really connected to the road. Even has anti-lock brakes standard.
Oh, come on, what? You can't get ABS in the Accord, huh?
Oh, yeah. For about 4,000 more.
So what is this?
The new Grand Am. It's a Pontiac.
Barris coming down the field, and on the kickoff return, he caught it at about the 2, a deep kick, and Barris is finally tackled. I think that was a Rash Malik.
It was Aaron Morrison.
Or Morrison, the kicker, who finally stopped him. That's a great kickoff return, 39 yards out to the 41-yard line. That has been a little bit of a problem for Logan this year. They have given up some pretty good kickoff returns.
Well, Aaron Morrison did a pretty good job of breaking down right at about the 40-yard line of Bear River to make that open field tackle. If he doesn't make that, that could be 6 points for Bear River.
Okay, so Barris gives him good field position. He goes to the left side, Haas to this side, and Judkins is playing that A-back position right now instead of Anger. The only running back, I believe, is Peterson. No, it's Allred. He gets the play fake from Nelson. Nelson throws a wobbly one over the middle, knocked down, but here's a flag. Jared Sedgwick's going to get the penalty marker for laying on the back of Haas, just like earlier in the game. Bear River got the same kind of penalty.
A little bit of contact initiated right about the 45-yard line of the Grizzlies as Haas makes the move to the center of the field, and Sedgwick comes up in pretty good coverage, but just couldn't keep the right hand off, and the official, the back judge standing right there, was going to throw the 15-yard penalty against the Grizzlies.
That'll mark it down to the Logan 46-yard line. A 15-yard penalty on Logan. It'll be a first down for Bear River.
That was really
It'll be the 44-yard line, make it.
The ball really floated out there, and I'm
That
sure
was
Sedgwick felt like he might have had an interception opportunity, but he went through the receiver and got the penalty on it.
He actually knocked down the ball, so Bear River's going to throw it tonight against Logan. I think Logan expected to see run. Here's a run, and Logan's got it sniffed out, and there's the reason why they're not running. Joel Berglund coming in and knifing through and tackling Reggie Anger for a loss. Back to the 46-yard line, a loss of 2 for Anger. So now the Grizzlies and now Bear River's going to go with no huddle, trailing 14-0, 3:48 left. Now a double slot to this side of the field, so 3 receivers. They hand off to the big guy. Allred pounds it in there, and Logan stuffs him. He does get it back across the original line of scrimmage, but Rick Sampson met him head on, literally there. And also getting up off the play was Mason McLeod. They mark it at the 43 of Logan. It's a 3-yard run. Bear River goes quickly, 3rd down and 9. Haas left, Anger out to this side. And now Barris was on the right. Now Nelson swings him over to the left side as a slot left. Again, the only running back, Allred. Here's Riley Nelson. Back to pass. Blitz is on. He throws an underneath screen, and it's incomplete. And Barris gets the call. Thornley sniffed it out, jumping through. He landed on Barris's back, and we're going to get another pass interference call. But again, it's behind the line of scrimmage, so I don't think it can be pass interference. No flag.
That's right. That's a good call by the official to realize that the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, and so Thornley coming up quickly, read the play. Of course, Riley Nelson backs up about 15 yards and allows the rush to come in. Then was screening it out to the right, and Thornley there to make the play for the Grizzlies, and so now the Bears are forced to punt.
Bears are 0 for 2 now on their 3rd downs. That play wouldn't have got yardage if it would have been completed.
There are 2 or 3 Grizzlies right around the receiver as the ball was thrown.
Thornley is back, standing about the 5-yard line. And again, the punter is the quarterback, Nelson, with good field position. He still kicks it away. Thornley looks at it at the far side, takes it at about the 11. Thornley back to the 15, near the 20-yard line. He's still on his feet. And finally, he goes down. That's a pretty good run back by Thornley. They thought they had him back at about the 16 or 17. And he brought it up to the 22-yard line before Nesson again was in on the tackle for Bear River. So that's a run back of 11 yards on the punt return by Thornley. And the punt by Nelson ended up going 32 yards. So Logan has their worst field position of the night. Their own 22. Again, Logan leading by a score of 14-0. We're brought to you tonight by Performance Tire at the corner of 3rd North and Main in Logan. Here's a pitch to Anderson, coming to the left side. Anderson cuts through, gets to the 25, gets to the 30, gets drugged by a Bear River tackle near the 40-yard line. It was Haddock again who comes across the field and made the tackle, but that's a big gain for Logan's Mike Anderson. A first down run of 17 yards out to the 39.
Well, Stuart Peterson, the inside linebacker, he's the junior for the Bear River Bears. He had a shot at Anderson right at the line of scrimmage, about the 21-yard line, and just totally missed him. Anderson steps out of the tackle and gets the first down.
All right, tonight we're also brought to you by game sponsor Taco Time. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary. They've got the soft flour tacos. Again, great other food available, and they're now in Smithfield besides in Logan at Taco Time. In motion goes Dunn to the far side. First down play for Logan at the 39, just an inside dump to the fullback, and Guerrero fights his way through a tackle. Tell you, that's a great run. He ran through Anderson, the outside linebacker of the Bears, and he got it up to the 43-yard line. That's almost a 5-yard run. Let's call it a 5-yard run to the 44 by Guerrero. He's having a great night.
Tony Guerrero so far tonight, 59 yards on 3 carries, by the 42-yard touchdown run on his first carry.
And Anderson doesn't have a shabby night going either.
Anderson, 28 yards on 5 carries so far.
Grizzly running game, 99 yards. Passing game, 17, and a touchdown. Down to a minute 35 left in the quarter. Guerrero goes out to a wing right. Johnson rolls out on 2nd and 5, really rolling way over to the right side. Bullets it downfield, and it is intercepted. Great catch down the field by Thomas. Clint Thomas made a super catch along the turf. at the Bear River 41. That was a rope that Johnson threw, and he made a great interception.
That's the third interception for the year for Johnson, and you're right. As Clint Thomas broke to the ball, Thomas's momentum was carrying him to the left sideline. He broke back to the right just in time to reach out and dive for the interception. That's a big turnover for Bear River, who is already trailing 14-0 with 1:19 to go here in the first quarter.
First time in the game, Logan's offense hasn't scored when they've had the ball. 14-0 ball game. Peterson's now the running back, but Nelson's back to throw. Harris's receiver fell down, and then he got up to his feet, and it went through his hands incomplete. Mike Nelson and Sedgwick on the coverage, so an incomplete throw.
Also credit Sampson, the left defensive end for the Grizzlies, for a good job of rushing Nelson a little bit on that pass as Sampson came in from the left side.
Nelson is 1 for 4 so far for 9 yards. Again, only just barely went over 1,000 yards last week. He had 1,800 last year, and he's only thrown about 40% of his passes. They're taking a long time to get this play off. They still can't get it going here. Barris over to the left side and Haas to the right. The back judge is not counting, though, so they're going to get the play off. Now he's finally starting to count, and they do get the play off. They fake the sweep. Now Nelson down the middle. It's caught and dropped. Incomplete pass. What a hit by Thornley. Toon, the tight end, had it at the 45 on that drag play we talked about. Thornley belted it loose.
Toon's another junior. He lines up on the left side of the offensive line, drags down about 15 yards. Thornley just playing center field back in his zone. As soon as Toon comes through Thornley's zone, he comes up and hits him hard with the helmet, hits through the man to the ball. It's like they teach you. And then the ball comes flying out of there for the incomplete pass.
Bear River's 0 for 2 on third downs. They go to a slot left and one receiver to the right. The only running back now coming in motion, Peterson to this side. Here's Nelson back on the blitz. He's throwing far down the sideline, and it's no good, incomplete. It goes over B.J. Austin down the left side, and Mark Thompson was in playing in the defensive secondary on that play, and now Logan will see a Bear River punt probably on fourth down with 53 seconds to go. Again, Logan still leading 14-0. We're brought to you tonight by Bridgerland Applied Technology Center. Their employment through training program really gets you ready for the job skills that you need to have that great career. Thornley back at about his own 25. Nelson to punt inside his own 30. So they don't convert the turnover. Big Logan, Nelson gets it away high, but it's short. It takes a great Bear River bounce, though. It goes inside the 30. It goes down to the 21-yard line where it dies. So a great bounce out of it. Thornley had to get away from that high punt.
We got a flag on the field. He was throwing it in the direction of Clint Thomas of Bear River after the play was over. Very late flag sitting at about the 45-yard line. Bear River clapping. Perhaps something happened there during that high punt in the air with a block or something. This is what the official's indication is.
The indication, it looks like right now, is it's going to be dead ball, personal foul on Logan. So that's not going to help. All right, the punt dives at the 21-yard line. So that will be a 38-yard kick. And again, a lot of it, that's about 15 yards of it, ended up being on the, after the first bounce, it just took a nice drive down the field. And now they're going to push the ball back. Logan's ready to run it. The officials haven't marked off the penalty yet. 42 seconds left. Remember, last week we hardly had a penalty, and already now we've had Logan's been guilty twice, and Bear River's been guilty twice, and now here's the third one of the night on Logan. They're going to mark this one back to about the 11. So that's another 10-yard penalty on Logan. And it is dead ball, so it's 1st and 20. Now the clock runs. We're down to 40 seconds left in the quarters. 3 receivers to the left side for Logan. Trips receivers, 1 running back, Guerrero. Johnson back to throw, an inside little pass to Thornley. Here he goes. Thornley to 35. Thornley breaks the tackle. Here he comes middle of the field, still running. 45. Here he goes to midfield, and Nesson trailing the play from behind. Mark Thornley, Perry keeps telling us he's not fast, but he's got to have some kind of skills the way he can run in the open field. That's to the 49 of the Bears.
I know that Thornley, as he catches that ball in the middle of the field, that's where your quickness comes in, and Perry calls it quickness, where you can envision the field, you keep your head up, you see your block, you see which way the defenders are coming at you and what angle, and then you just cut it back the other side of the field and break tackles, and that's what Thornley does, and he's an exciting player, and it gets Logan out of the hole that they had.
42-yard play to Thornley, to the Bear River 49. Now an off-tackle run again by Guerrero, and he cuts it for about 1 or 2 yards. Eric Anderson, the outside linebacker, made the tackle, and that will probably be the last play of a very, very action-filled first quarter of football. 14-0. Logan leads Bear River. We're coming back after this timeout. Holt was on the state championship team his junior year, and then his senior year team, they went to semifinals. Perry's first year as head coach. First quarter, Bear River had 9 yards of offense. Logan had 160. Logan's best offensive game of the year is only in the 300s. Second down and 8 play, done pitch. It comes to Anderson. They do run against that slot side, and Anderson dives it down to about the 41-yard line. It'll be short of a first down. Nesson and Haddock, they've really had good defensive games for Bear River so far. Make the tackle. That's a 6-yard run, though, by Mike Anderson. Logan 3rd and 2.
Dunn goes in motion from the right side, and then he cracks back right on the outside linebacker and absolutely leveled him. I think it was Haddock out there. Haddock still got up and helped on the play, but it was a great block by Dunn to spring for the yardage for Anderson.
We get into our second quarter of our cellular broadcast tonight. Again, we thank Rocky Mountain Cellular and U.S. West Cellular for the airtime and the equipment to bring you this contest. Logan has one running back on 3rd and 2. And Johnson short drops, throws the ball sideline. It's caught by Thornley. There's a flag on the play, though, as Thornley's got the first down to the 31. Now let's check that marker.
That's going to be motion against Dunn. He left the line of scrimmage early.
Oh, so that'll nullify a first down pass play. So the Grizzlies have illegal motion. It'll be a 5-yard penalty on them. And the ball will be back to the 46-yard line. So the Grizzlies will have to do it again. Let me also mention Weston Inn, the Mountain West finest accommodations for a long time. One of our great sports sponsors on KBNU, and we appreciate the Weston Inn. So now the Grizzlies need to get to the Bear River 39-yard line. Again, this drive started off deep after a penalty, and they hit Thornley on a little underneath pass. You know, that was a play that they had seen earlier this year from a couple of opponents. Logan's seen that kind of underneath pass, and they picked it up and put it in their book.
Maybe even Nevada last week, running a lot of underneath stuff against the Utah State defense. It couldn't stop the Nevada offense, and so maybe Perry taking something out of their playbook as well.
Thornley out to the left side. Right side is Thompson. Bear River come with a blitz. They run a draw play to Mike Anderson. Oh, he gets cracked by Donnie Anderson. Allred, and he almost got away, but he did not. Nice play by Allred to keep Anderson right at the line of scrimmage. Long developing draw play, and Mike Anderson almost spun away. Some help on that play by Quentin Stevens to make the tackle. And Logan doesn't gain anything out of that one. It's 4th down and 7, and for the first time tonight, it looks like they'll have to punt. Again, Nate Dunn on the years averaged 33.4 yards per kick. Bear River sends back 2 deep people. Anger to this side, and Barris to the far side. There's the snap to Dunn. No pressure at all. He kind of pooches it over to the left side. It's going to bounce away from Barris. Take a great Logan bounce down the sideline and get bounce inside the 10-yard line. That's a great kick by Nate Dunn. Nate has not had a great last couple of games kicking the ball. Not getting as much practice the last couple of times because Logan's been controlling the ball a little bit better. Let's see where they finally bring this one back onto the field. Again, we're low to the field looking at it tonight. They finally place it, what would you say, Mike, about the 7?
Looks like about the 6-yard line.
About the 6-yard line. So that's a great kick by Dunn, 40 yards.
Timeout now for Logan as they don't have enough people.
We're going to keep it here. We've still got 10:03 to go in this first half. The Mountain Crest Mustangs lead 7-0 over Ogden in the game down at Ogden. That's the score update there. Again, both Mountain Crest and Logan came in tonight 4-1. Again, if you missed the top of our game tonight or you've missed any of the sports news today, the decision, again, yesterday was made to cancel the rest of the Skyview football season by the Cache County School Superintendent Larry Jensen. It was reaffirmed today in court when some parents went to court and tried to get the football season reinstated. They want to play down at Ben Lomond tonight. They did not get that. The judge ruled for the district and the superintendent. They had the right, they said, because football is a privilege, not a constitutional right. And I don't know, there would be some who might argue that. Some attorney somewhere probably would. In any case, there's, and again, I talked to Ben Lohman's Evan Exel, their athletic director today, and he was upset about losing the home game tonight.
You lose the home game, you can't honor the seniors in home game, plus there's a little bit of revenue for the school on a home game.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, here's a handoff, and boy, is Logan smothering the run or what? The Bear River one back there. At that time, I think it was Allred, but we're going to wait. It was either Allred or Peterson, and Joel Berglund snowed the play under from the start, and then Dave Peacock from the side, and the runner was Allred. So it was Allred, and Allred lost a yard back to the 5-yard line. So now the Bears are facing second down and 11.
A -1 total rushing yards so far for Bear River. Opponents coming into the game are almost averaging 5 yards a carry. But so far tonight, the Grizzly defensive front and linebackers are doing the job.
Logan's given up a lot of big plays this year, too. That's been a lot of difference in that yardage. Now wide receiver 2 to the right, 1 to the left. The running back is in motion. And here's Nelson to lob the ball downfield. And, gosh, Craig Saunders almost turned around and had it drop into his breadbasket. He overthrew Toon, the tight end. He also had Barris coming over there. That might have been a little bit of a pattern because you shouldn't have 2 receivers, I don't think, that close because you ended up with about 5 defenders.
Well, whenever you see that, if you're looking at a game or listening to a game and you know that there's 2 receivers right next to each other, somebody ran a wrong pattern because you wouldn't draw it up that way because, as you mentioned, Al, that brings in 2 or 3 defenders right in the area, so you have a big group of players and anybody can come up with the ball. And so I think Bear River really kind of fortunate not to throw an interception on that play.
Because Saunders was covering Barris, the deep receiver. Now a slot left. Judkins in the slot. Now he goes in motion to the far side. Here's Nelson back trying to dump it off quickly. He does to Barris, and I don't know if he got the first down or not. Nope, he's short. Nice tackle made by the Logan cornerback who was with him, and I still haven't picked up who that was. Was it Thornley? No, it's not Thornley. It was Sedgwick. So Sedgwick made the tackle at the 12-yard line. That was a 7-yard pass play, but now Bear River has to punt, basically out of. Back deep, Thornley near midfield. Logan leading 14-0 here in the second quarter. The snap to Nelson. He drives the kick. Thornley running up to get it at the 44-yard line. He's back to the 40. He's to the Bear River 38-yard line. Tackled by Jason Haas. Grizzlies get great field position. Thornley with an 11-yard, or I'm sorry, make that a little shorter than that, about a 7-yard run back. We'll call it an 8-yard punt return. After the punt went to the 46, so it's a 34-yard kick.
That's where your kicking game can really help in your field position as Logan gets a great punt from Dunn and gets it inside to the 6-yard line and forces Bear River 3 plays and out, and then they can't kick it very far out of there, so that again sets up your offense. So your special teams play a big role in a high school game.
8:21 to go in the half. Logan leading by 2 touchdowns. Slot left. Johnson hands off to Guerrero. Guerrero's trying to spin for yardage. I'll tell you this, Donnie Allred, a junior, is a pretty good linebacker. He's made some solid hits. Got 1 yard and then got spun back, so they'll give him a yard out of it. And it's second down and 9. Let me also mention tonight, Morris Travel. They've got really some good deals on Caribbean cruises right now. Make sure you check with Morris Travel on that cruise opportunity for you.
Well, Donnie Allred, of course, was one that couldn't catch Tony Guerrero on his previous touchdown run, and Allred doesn't want to let that happen again, so he's filling the holes very quickly tonight, and we've mentioned his name on a lot of tackles.
Again, only 1 back and a slot left with Anderson in the slot. Thompson right, left side, I believe that might be Thornley, or is it Larson? Here's a short fake, and it's Thornley at quarterback, and he's running down the field and slipping tackles and running like only Mark Thornley can. So there's the scheme. He comes in at quarterback and runs. Actually looked like he's running an option, like he wanted to throw quickly. Then he ran the option along the line, and then he kept it and went upfield to the 23-yard line of Bear River for 14 yards and a first down.
Thornley's going to stay in back as Arash Malik brings in this play for Anderson, and you're right, he just goes down the left side of the formation. Looks out there, he's going to throw it out to Larson, then keeps it, tucks it away because he's such a great runner, and he's really a 2-dimensional type of an offense.
Now Malik out to the left side in the slot left, and there's nothing wrong with Jared Johnson. He's standing next to Perry Christensen. Again, running the option left is Thornley. He looks behind him. Now he just keeps it, and Allred smears him as he gets to about the 20-yard line. Fortunately, he had 2 hands on the ball there because he really got hit. That's a 3-yard run by Thornley. Grizzlies will have 2nd and 7 from the Bear 20.
Well, he had Arash Malik out to his left as the play's going left. And now Johnson's going to come in for Thornley here on the 2nd and 7 situation. And it really looked like Arash Malik might have been open for the pitch, but Thornley decided to keep it, and Allred made sure he didn't get very much on it.
Now Anderson comes in late on this play as Logan will set up the offset eye. 3rd down and 7, or 2nd and 7 play make it at the Bear River 20. And now Johnson pitches the ball to Anderson. Anderson up the field, good block. Oh, he gets to the 10 and slides to about the, got to the 15, and he slides to about the 11-yard line. Tackle made by Quentin Stevens, their free safety. They're going to mark his knee down at the 12. That's an 8-yard run and a Logan first down.
2 key blocks there, one by Tony Guerrero on the lead block, and then Danny Holmes getting upfield getting a good block on the outside linebacker to spring Anderson for the first down.
Also tonight brought to you by Palmer's. It's a pretty nice place, the home of Mr. Goodwrench Service. Again, trying to put the service back into the service department from Palmer's in Logan and Preston. Slot left, only one running back, and Johnson's the quarterback. He's back to pass. He's looking left. He's flushed out of the pocket. Got a run, makes a little fake, and then Peterson cut him off front-wise, and Nesson got him from behind for a loss back at the 15-yard line. So it's a loss of 3. One of the first times tonight, I think, Logan's lost yardage on a play. Logan leading 14-0. To be honest, it may have been even more. They had one turnover that stopped one series. They had to punt one time from about midfield.
Why that play didn't work is he was looking for Anderson a little quick out. Anderson lined up in a slot, went down about 5 yards downfield, went break to his left and slipped down in front of the defender. And Johnson was looking right at him when he slipped down, so I think that's where the ball was going to go. And then there was nowhere to throw the ball as the defender was able to get on Anderson, and Johnson just didn't have anywhere to run.
Now Thornley's in the backfield, and Hansen goes in motion, and here's a rollout by Johnson. Throwing for Thornley, makes a catch at the 10, gets a block downfield, and he's inside the 5-yard line. Nice play by Dunn to block out Thomas, even though Thomas ended up making the tackle. He got up off the turf at the 4-yard line. It'll be a first down for Logan. That's a 11-yard pass play to Mark Thornley.
It's not a first down, but it is third down still. So Logan will get another shot at it. Now there's a timeout on the field by the official.
They needed, what Logan needed was 13 yards on the last play, and they pick up 11, so it's not enough for a first down. It'll be third down and a little more than at about the 4-yard line. We'll call it 3rd and 2.
Mentioning Dunn's name is really great, and that's a compliment to him because if a receiver can get out and block downfield, that really helps the play develop.
Okay, here's Guerrero trying to go out that left side, and he's convoyed into the end zone by Dave Peacock and Mike Anderson for a touchdown. Yeah, you weren't out there.
I wish I was out there playing. That was like a lot of fun. But
well, the way things are going tonight, it does, doesn't it?
That was Mike Anderson and Peacock out there on a great lead block, and Guerrero just tucks in behind their blocks and leans into the end zone for another Grizzly touchdown. They could go up 21-0 with 4:27 to go here in the second quarter.
Also, I saw Danny Holmes come out of the end zone over near the plate, so he had to also be helping, so maybe he pulled or somebody pulled on that play. Now here's Aaron Morrison to try the point after again with a holder, Nate Dunn. Bear River still looking for their first down of the night, and and now there's a motion on the play before it started. The kick was actually good, but it looks like it'll be on the Grizzlies.
See what the officials call it. The kick looks good and long.
Illegal procedure on Logan. So now Morrison will have to try the PAT from the 15-yard line.
Now Thornley's going to come in for this play. I don't know.
Yeah, we might have to see something up the sleeve here with Thornley, and they may go a 2-point play. They like to use that. You've seen it before, the motion that they start running around. And
they like to do a little muddle huddle, and then they snap it early, and then you'll see a reverse, and one of the receivers will go into the end zone. Let's see what they do here. Bear River really looking for the 2-point play here.
I think, I think he could get the 2, but they snap it to Anderson. He runs left. They hand off to Thornley. If Thornley breaks the tackle, breaks underneath another one, he's going to have to run here trying to get it in, and he's sacked. Well, he's pulled down on the play. It didn't work. It's 4:27 left in the first half. A timeout. Grizzlies 20 and Bear River nothing. Timeout. 8 yards after that short punt out of the end zone. And now it's Aaron Morrison to kick off. Boy, that's a great high kick. Barris back near the goal line at the 1. He's angling over to the right side. They like to do sideline type things, and the Grizzlies have cut off the sideline. Nice job by the special teams as Barris doesn't get it back to the 20-yard line, and it was done downfield to make the tackle.
Back there to throw the ball. It's just a good job by the Logan defensive backs on the
Logan leading 20-0. Barris to the right, Haas left, and Anger is the A-back out to the left side. The only running back is Allred. And here's Nelson looking again for a slant left. Now he's waiting. He throws in the arms of Jason McLeod, and he dropped it. He had to kind of jump the ladder a bit, get up high. He had it in his arms for a moment, couldn't hang on. Incomplete pass. Grizzlies go to a third down, or Bear River goes to a third down.
Well, so McLeod plays linebacker, not wide receiver, but he did a good job as he goes back in a little zone coverage for the linebacker. And watching one of the tight ends drag across the middle. I think he was watching Toon there, and it just happened to be that Haas comes out from the left side, cutting across the middle of the field, right behind Jason McLeod. The ball underthrown, and McLeod almost had the interception.
Okay, the Grizzlies play defense now on 3rd and 10 from the 18. Trips receivers to this side and one to the other side. No backs for Nelson. Long count at the line. Now he drops back. Now he's going to run. We said he hadn't run yet. He's now running through the middle of the field and tackled. Nice play by Logan's McLeod, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Jason McLeod, who didn't get that interception on the play before. Now McLeod ends up getting the play and the tackle at the 25-yard line. So it's a 7-yard run, but not enough for a first down, and it'll be 4th down.
And again, Bear River has not earned a first down on their own so far tonight. The one first down they do have was by a pass interference from Logan, and so their offense is really struggling so far.
Now Nelson to punt again, high but not deep. Everybody for Logan trying to get away from it. It takes another good Bear River bounce, though. It bounces into Logan's half of the field, and it's over and dying on the roll at about the 37-yard line of Logan. So that ended up being a pretty good punt after the 7-yard pass completion didn't get the first down. No punt return on the play. Let's see. 38-yard kick by Nelson. So he's punted. Now after that first and a 27, he's just punting at about that 33, 34-yard clip. Yeah, about 33 yards a kick. So the Grizzlies, who have scored 3 of the 5 times they've had the football, will get it with 2:51 left in the first half, leading 20-0. Again, only one back. Arash Malik comes out to the wing right side. Back to pass, Johnson, short drop. He throws long for Larson, and he tips it and makes the catch right along the sideline. He tipped it to himself in front of Clint Thomas and made the catch at the Bear River yard line.
Well, it was 5'10 against 5'8, and Clint Thomas only being 5 out. He's not very big at 5'8. He just couldn't get up high enough, and Larson does a good job of just tipping it up to himself, reaching out with the left hand, realizing where the sideline was, and was getting ready to turn upfield, but Thomas laying on the ground grabbed him by the ankles to pull him down, but it was a great catch.
Grizzlies get their 10th first down. They're at the Bear River 38-yard line. Clock is running. Slot left side, and a receiver to the right, only one running back. Here's Johnson make it back to pass. Looking for Anderson out of the backfield. He makes the catch, breaks down the sideline, pounded out of bounds by Quint Stevens, the free safety ranging over at the 5-yard line. So that ends up being a 33-yard pass play. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 6, so it's a 32-yard pass play, but it is another Logan first down, and now Johnson's getting a little bit of confidence throwing the foot.
That was a long throw, too. He threw it from the right side of the field all the way to the left sideline, and Anderson reaches around, the ball a little bit underthrown, but he finds the seam between the linebacker and the safety there and is able to come up with a big catch. And luckily for Bear River, Quentin Stevens, ranging over there from his safety position, was able to knock him down.
Now the Grizzlies have to use a timeout because they are missing somebody or something. There was some confusion, so Jared Johnson and Perry Christensen will meet. Let me mention again one of our game sponsors tonight. It is Central Park. That best deal, best meal, and also they've added that great new chicken sandwich at Central Park. Make sure you go try that. Again, coming up for radio listeners at halftime, an interview we taped today with Hal Garner. We'll also, of course, recap as the half ends for Valley Channel listeners or watchers and viewers of what we have had here in the first half, which has been a Logan-dominated first half.
One thing I want to mention here is Johnson is 6 for 7 throwing tonight.
Yeah, Thornley never did throw when he was in at quarterback. Ben Johnson, and 127 yards.
He's done a good job. He's stepping back in the pocket. It's such a difference from last week when we saw when they were slipping and sliding all over the field. I think he only had 2 completions last week against Skyview, one for the winning touchdown, but boy, they were slipping and sliding, and to actually see green grass out here is quite refreshing after last week's game.
Hopefully they'll get Logan's Field in shape for the playoffs. I formation, Malik at the tail of the tandem. In motion goes Thompson to the far side. They fake it. Here's a pass for the tight end. Rick Hansen for the touchdown. A little play action, and there's a late flag. And the Bear River defender, he's already got one flag, and the official looked like he was dipping in his pocket for another one on Clint Haddock.
Well, they only carry one, and he already threw it. But that was just a good job there as the whole motion of the play goes left. Johnson reverses field and looks for the tight end dragging to the weak side of the field. Clint Haddock not able to get there, and that's another touchdown. And we have an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bear River Bears, and that will be enforced on the kickoff.
So it's the touchdown pass was 6 yards to Rick Hansen for the score. And now Johnson's going to stay in the game. I think with Logan missing that last time with the 2, they will try to get 2 this time to get it back to a regular type number. It's 26-0.
And I made a mistake there. They enforced the penalty half the distance to the goal on the extra point.
They did it on the extra point. Maybe you have a choice. I don't know. In any case, here's the option run by Johnson. He turns left side and fumbled it. And it's recovered by a Grizzly in the end zone. At least Rick Sampson's saying so. Now the officials are talking about it. And every Grizzly said it's good. And now I think the officials are finally saying yes. Yes, it's a 2-point play. The hard way. Is that the best way to put it? Johnson fumbled the ball as he was hit at a goal line, and I think either Holmes or Peacock might have recovered it.
I think he took a shot in the right wrist because he's coming out the field holding that right arm. Hopefully for Perry Christensen and the Grizzlies, he'll be okay. He's throwing the ball great tonight again, 7 for 8. And he's just doing a good job there. He's setting up in the pocket. The offensive line, give them credit. They're keeping this big Bear River defensive line, who Perry Christensen was really worried about, putting pressure on the Grizzlies. They're just doing the job inside. The running backs also helping to fill and not letting anybody get through and allowing Johnson the time to set up and find the receiver. And Johnson's doing a great job tonight. Give him a lot of credit.
Again, Johnson earlier in the season had broken that bone on his left wrist, right between his hand and his wrist, and now he was cradling that right side, but he's now given some high fives to Hal Garner down there. So we'll see if he can shake it off and continue, because he's having quite a game. And tell you, Logan's dimensions now. Again, Mike, we talked about it. Once they finally got their versatility figured out, look how they've used Thornley tonight. They've used Anderson, Malik, Guerrero, Johnson. They've thrown to Larson. They've thrown to Hansen. All of a sudden, you start to see a multi-dimensional type offense for Logan.
And even throwing to Anderson out of the backfield some on a big play to get him down close to the end zone. So Perry's really using his weapons out there. And you're right, it did take him a little while at the beginning of the year to figure out who could do what, but Perry's really doing a good job in using his players.
Here's Aaron Morrison. He's had a good night kicking the ball. This one's shorter, though. Running up to get it is Thomas on a scoop at about the 15, 20-yard line, and he's out across the 30 before he is finally wrestled down over there by Aaron Bracken. Bracken has had a good year of special teams play. So the run back, as he got it on the run, is 18 yards to the 32-yard line, and Bear River will start pretty good field position, 1st and 10. Again, trailing now 28-0. We have a minute and 55, and now the clock starts here in the first half.
Bear River, again, they have not earned a first down. The only first down that they have had by penalty by the Grizzlies, and if they need to get on track, it has to be on this drive.
Here's the fake. They run a little fake reverse as well, and now Nelson's flushed out of the pocket to the right side. He throws across the middle, and it's intercepted, and the Grizzly Mike Nielsen has it, and he scrambles up the field for about 5 yards. Logan just continues to give Bear River fits tonight. Nielsen gets hit real hard.
And I think he's still down.
Yep, in fact, Bunch is motioning to the sidelines to get some medical help. Tim Treesice and his student trainers are on the way out. Also, Logan's defensive coach, Stu Howell, making the jaunt out onto the field to help. That was a great interception by Nielsen. He was down low to the ground when he got it. He put his hand down on the turf to keep himself running. And Nielsen brings it back about 5 yards on the pass interception. That's his first of the season.
And it looked like, initially, it looked like the wind knocked out of Nielsen. Now he's up on his feet, and I think that happens. I think he might have landed on the ball, but he really did take a shot at the interception, but he just stepped right in front of the receiver, and now Logan's going to be threatening again on the Bear River 35, the minute 32 to go in the first half.
I know they've used one of their timeouts that I remember for sure. Larson to the left side. Right side, it's Thompson. I formation, Malik is the tailback, and Johnson's back in at quarterback, and he hands it off to Malik. And Malik runs in, and then there's Allred. Again, Allred really strong. Big kid as a junior. He wrestles him back after the run by Malik down to the 32-yard line. Malik got 3 yards where they finally placed it, and now another Grizzly, I think it's Malik, shaken up on the play, and he's kind of writhing on the turf.
And the way he's holding his leg, that could be a left ankle. I'm not sure what happened there, but he took a shot as he was held up there by Allred. Clint Haddock came in, the other linebacker on the outside, really came in strong and really put a hit on him, and let's hope he's okay.
So Logan has 137 rushing and 133 passing. Pretty good balance.
That's very good balance. And if you look at Bear River's totals, they're looking at
22 yards.
6 yards rushing and 16 yards passing so far tonight of 22 yards.
Minute and 4 left. Let me also mention another one of our game sponsors, and that's our good friends at Big O Tires. Now, again, your complete tire store is Big O Tires with their nationwide tire guarantee. You have over 400 stores to serve your needs.
Looks like Rash Malik is, well, yes, that is the rash, and he's not putting a lot of weight on the left ankle, and again, that could have been just, he's had problems all year with that left ankle, and I'm sure that's what the case here again tonight is, he's held up there by the initial hit by Allred, and then maybe an ankle gets caught underneath, and then when the other hit comes over the top, that just bends that, and boy, that's an injury that sometimes is very hard to get over, and the rash tried to play on it all year long, and looks like he's been knocked out of this ball game again by the same injury.
Malik, 2 carries, 12 yards while he's in. They pitch it back to Mike Anderson as they run the play, and again, Allred, and that's going to be a loss for the Grizzlies. They get him back at the 34-yard line. They take 2 yards away from Logan. A loss on the play. The Grizzlies now with 48 seconds left and the clock running have a 3rd and 9 at the Bear River 34-yard line, leading 28-0. So let's see now what the Grizzlies offense can do here. Thornley's back in.
Thornley's coming in for Thompson at the wide receiver spot. Thornley will come out wide right. Johnson stays in at quarterback.
Larson to the left side. High formation. Guerrero ahead of Anderson. 3rd and 9 play. Near side hash mark. Here's a pitch to Thornley. Going back to this side. That's the one they scored the touchdown on against Mountain Crest, and Thornley goes down as somebody got the ankle at the 31. He picked up a little bit of yardage. The Bear River tackler was Bobby Barrett. And it'll be a 4th down, and the Grizzlies will use a timeout with 9 seconds left here in the first half. Again, you've just seen it so many times in football. You never can have enough. I mean, if you have a chance to score, you got to take advantage of all those opportunities. Logan leading 28-0. You may, again, a lot of people may be wondering why they're so worried about scoring again, but they got good field position here, and the half's not over.
That's right. You still got a whole half of football left, and the Bear River team that can do some things offensively. Perry Christensen's not going to be complacent with a 28-point lead. He wants to try to kick a field goal.
Yeah, it looks like Aaron Morrison's coming into the game. Now, he has shown tonight that he can kick it a long ways on kickoffs. They look like this placement would be just shy of the 40, so to be at about the 39. This would be a 49-yard field goal, which would have to be one of the longest that we've had during all the Perry Christensen years at Logan High.
Let's go back and see what Willie Beecher did.
Yeah, I think Beecher kicked one about 47 or 48. It was his longest in high school, as I remember. I'm thinking that maybe Darrell Stoker may have kicked one in the 50s, it seems like, possibly. We can go back and look at that at halftime. So Thornley on a 3-yard run down to the 31-yard line. Now Morrison's actually moved the tee a little closer, at least the placement tee in high school football, at about the 38. The holder will be done.
Now, looks like Larson's in his special teams because I think Rash Malik or somebody's injured on the bench, so he's had to come in and play special teams.
Okay, Morrison will try to kick a 38-yard field goal here. Bear River's coming. They get through, but the kick by Morrison's got plenty of leg. Oh, it hit hit the crossbar. Right, nailed it. And it bounces back onto the field. If that has just about another 3 inches, it's over.
Yeah, it hit right in the middle of the goalpost, right at the crossbar. It leaves 2 seconds to go here in the first half. The Bear River got on it, but boy, it looked like it was going to make it, and it just died right at the end and didn't quite get across.
So a 48-yard field goal try by Morrison hits that crossbar. Bear River will have one more play at the 20-yard line unless Logan has a penalty on the play. And Bear River's shown really hardly anything but pass in the first half, so you'd probably expect the same thing here. The only running back is Allred. They have trips receivers to the right. And now Allred comes in motion out of the backfield out to this left side. So Nelson has nobody left in the backfield but himself. He drops back to pass. He airs it out on the right side, and it is knocked away and intercepted by Guerrero. Guerrero back to the 45, to the 40, and Guerrero's pounded out of bounds over on the far sideline at the 32, but it's quite a first half for Logan, and it ends with their second interception of the game, and Bear River still looking for their first earned first down. It's a 28-0 halftime lead, Logan leading Bear River, and we'll be back with the first half after this timeout. Now shortly, once again, Al Lewis with Mike Hansen, KBNU, and also on the Valley Channel tonight with this first half of football complete, and it was dominated by Logan. They could have had a bigger lead than 28-0.
Well, the first series of downs where Logan gets a touchdown by the big run, the 42-yard run by Tony Guerrero, really seemed to ignite the team, and it ignited the defense, and the defense goes out on the field their first series of downs with a lead, which they haven't really seen so much this year because Logan hasn't really been a first quarter team, and that's just probably refreshing for the defense. And then the whole rest of the first half, when they had the lead and their offense kept adding to that, they just seemed to inspire the defense, and they got tougher and tougher as the half went on.
Okay, let's recap the scoring in the first half. It was Tony Guerrero scoring the first one that Mike talked about exactly 2 minutes into the game on a third down. And what was it, about 3rd and 2 or 3? He went, it looked like it was going to be an inside tackle thing, but he kind of slanted to the outside, got to the sideline, and went 42 yards for the score. Morrison added the point after it, 7-0. Then Logan stopped Bear River, and Logan got the ball back at their own 46-yard line. 7 plays later, it was an 11-yard touchdown pass from Jared Johnson to Mike Anderson. This was with 4:42 to play in the first quarter. The point after by Morrison made it 14-0. Bear River's Thomas got an interception. Bear River had pretty good field position, couldn't convert. Bear River earlier on the series before that got their only first down. That was by penalty after a pass interference call, but that series died at the Logan 43. Then, finally, after Bear River had to punt out of the end zone, Logan took over at the Bear 38-yard line, and 7 plays later, they scored on a 4-yard run by Tony Guerrero, his second touchdown of the night, and with 4:27 left in the half, eventually on an illegal procedure on the PAT, they got moved back 5 yards, so Logan decided to try to play, and it failed, and Logan led 20-0. Then Bear River again forced to punt. Logan took over at their own 37. They hit the pass to Larson out at the Bear River 38-yard line, and then a 32-yard pass to Mike Anderson over on the far sideline, took it down to the 6-yard line, and then Johnson hit Rick Hansen, the tight end, on a play-action pass, 6-yard touchdown with 2:01 to play, and then Johnson, with some help from a lineman who recovered the ball in the end zone, got the 2-point play, and that's where we're at 28-0. But Mike Nielsen then intercepted. Logan had the ball at the Bear River 35-yard line, but couldn't convert, eventually tried a 48-yard field goal. It hit the crossbar right center in the middle of the goalposts by Morrison. He missed for 48 yards, and then Bear River had one last play in the half, and Logan's Guerrero intercepted. Logan's defense is doing a job, Mike, because Bear River has 22 yards of offense. Bear River has 6 yards rushing. One of those was a 7-yard run by Nelson on a scramble, and 2 for 12 passing for Wilson, only 16 yards. Somewhere along the way, you got to think that that passing game is going to click for a little bit. But again, the Grizzlies just can't now start to lay back and get complacent. You saw Perry was a little upset when he went off the field. I hope he doesn't think maybe people are getting complacent or think they've got this one in the bag.
Well, and that's important to guard against. If you come out and have such a successful first half, and that might be what Perry was upset about. He was really jawing at some of the people walking off the field, and maybe they were laughing and maybe joking. And of course, we don't know, but. Now, Perry's concerned, you've got a 28-point lead, but as we've seen in some games, no lead is safe. Teams can come back, and especially when you're playing on the home field of another team. And so the Grizzlies are going to have to come out and just do the same things they did in the first half. The defense is going to play just as aggressive and come out with a big win. And we understand from down in Ogden, the Mountain Crest Mustangs are tied with the Ogden Tigers 7-7 at half.
I want to mention our players of the week this week from Wendy's and KBNU. They include Mountain Crest volleyball players Dana Parrott and Shayna Buxton, soccer player Nicole Ashcroft, and volleyball player Beth Sharp, and Skyview volleyball player Casey Peterson, and Chris Griffin, the football player from Skyview. And also today, speaking of Casey Peterson, she was named to the 4A All-Academic Volleyball team, along with Jolene Myers of Mountain Crest and Elizabeth Smart of Logan. So some of the players of the week are also on the All-Academic team. The football academic All-State team, Mountain Crest, Brooke Jones, Doug Berry, and Mike Baldwin, and Stephen Dersch. We talked about him in the pregame show. He's a part of the academic all-state football team from Logan. Skyview's Wesley Mortensen made the academic cross-country all-state team. Allison Agnew of Mountain Crest made the academic cross-country team for the girls, and Emily Weaver of Skyview made it. Yesterday, incidentally, Mountain Crest girls won the region cross-country crown, and Ben Lohman won the boys. Sarah Couch of Logan is an academic soccer all-stater. And for Mountain Crest, Brandy Burbank. Carmen Coombs, incidentally, of Bear River, made the academic girls soccer team. Jason Hansey of Mountain Crest was an academic golf here, and those are the all-academic performers as we start the second half with Aaron Morrison kicking it off, a low kick. Barris gets the drive at the 6. He's back to the middle of the field now. Oh, boy, did the Grizzly coming from the side make a hit. And it was Mike Anderson who belted Barris at the 26. Barris still brought it back 20 yards, and Bear River doesn't get bad field position before he paid for that one.
I think he looked like he was going to have a little seam up the middle of the field, and Mike Anderson, who kind of lines up on the left side of the kickoff return coverage, and he just came down and just hit him. He was virtually untouched all the way down the field.
Well, does Bear River keep throwing? They now go to an I formation. We haven't seen that in the first half. In fact, I believe they now have Courtney Jones as the tailback, and he slipped as he got the handoff. The ball was loose, but I think they've blown it dead. And that was not Courtney Jones, I don't think. Now, as I look back, yeah, it was. Courtney Jones was the ball carrier, and he gets a loss on the play. Back to the yard line. He slipped before the handoff really happened. That's a 3-yard loss for Courtney Jones.
And he is a sophomore into the game for Bear River.
Yeah, this is a young team for Bear River. They go to a power I formation. They're trying to pound her at Logan. Here's Jones. He breaks a tackle, comes to the outside with a great block, trying to catch him as Sedgwick, and does at midfield. There's the first big play of the night for the Bear River Bears, and they take it up to midfield. They get a 27-yard run by sophomore Courtney Jones. First down, that's the first one they've earned tonight.
Pretty simple play, just a little off tackle, and the Grizzlies were sealed off on the outside. There was no pursuit until Sedgwick was able to catch up to him and haul him down right at the 50-yard line.
Short huddle. They've got the two big guys, Peterson and Allred, ahead of Jones. And it's Jones again on the left side and down for a loss. And it's Jason McLeod who cuts through the line, a gap, and then caught his ankles for a 1-yard loss back at the 49-yard line. It'll be second down 11 as we start our broadcast here in the third quarter on Cellular tonight from Rocky Mountain Cellular, your authorized agent of U.S. Weather. Thanking them. Second and 11 at the 49. Now they pitch to Jones, trying to get to the outside, and he's got a little hole this time. He takes it down to the Logan 45. He knifes for 6 yards. Sedgwick and James made the tackle for Logan. 6-yard run for Jones. It'll be third down and 5. Bear River in the first half was 0 for 5 on third downs. Now let's see if they can, same formation, power I. One wide receiver. They hand it off to Jones, and he does not get the first down. In fact, Guerrero almost ripped the ball away from him. And then Danny Holmes also on the tackle. It'll be a Bear River fourth down, but I got to think they're going to go for this. It's a run of 2 yards to the 43-yard line. Bear River has fourth down and 3, and now we have a timeout called by the officials to help out. One of the players actually, you know what, Mike? He lost his bandana inside his helmet is what they're adjusting right now for Courtney Wood, offensive lineman.
Well, it slipped down around his eyes. You couldn't see where he was blocking. He's been lead blocking this whole drive, and he finally decided he better adjust that bandana so he can see where he's going. And now Bear River brings in Josh Judkins this play to try to do something and try to get the first down on the fourth down. So far, opponents this year on fourth down conversions, they're about 23%.
Okay, here's the play. Now they go to split backs. One wing back over to the left, double tight ends. It looked like the line leaned. Here's Nelson to throw the ball over the middle. It's caught for a first down. Just a short little play to Barris, a little delay. Looked like guys at the line were leaning, but nobody really encroached, and it was caught at the 36-yard line. A 7-yard first down on fourth down.
Well, Barris just lined up on the left side of the Bear River formation, dragged right in front of the Grizzly linebackers, James and McLeod, just far enough upfield to get the first down.
Now Hawes out to the left side, and they go right back to the power I formation. And again, this Jones at the tail of the tandem. He gets the handoff on the right tackle area. He's coming into Logan, so again, they come up with this as a new strategy for him. They passed in the first half, and didn't get anywhere, so now they're going to try to pound it at Logan with their big line, and he runs it 2 yards to the 34-yard line. Second down and 8.
Danny Holmes took a shot right in the midsection, so he's going to come out of the ball game.
No huddle for Bear River. They're right back to the line with 2 tight ends. They pitch the ball to Jones, trying to sweep out the left side. Good block by Allred, but a great play playing off the block by Bunch, I think it is. Yes. Nice job by Bunch out there. That's not easy. David Bunch, senior at 6 feet 170, played off the block, no gain. The ball still at the 34-yard line, another third down.
Well, looked like an effective lead block as Allred lead blocks off the left side of the formation for Bear River, and Bunch just fights it off, uses his hands, pushes it off, and sets up for the tackle.
Now they go back to their one-back set on third and a little bit longer. Here's a little play action by Nelson over the middle, a sliding first down catch again, and it's Judkin this catch. Again, Logan giving a little ground back there, and now Bear River's moving it down the field. There's a 22 of Logan. That's a 12-yard pass play and a first down.
Now they've gone away from the power formation. They're going to go back with the one-back offense with Allred in the backfield.
Judkins is the left receiver in the slot. Outside of him is Haas. Now it's Allred, the big guy who carries. Could have been Peterson. I saw maybe it might have been 27 instead of 37. Let's wait and see. Guerrero made the tackle, and it is Stuart Peterson, the ball carrier. Also tackled by Rick Sampson at the 19. That's a 3-yard run. Second down and 7 for Bear River. No huddling and trailing 28-0 and trying to move it here. Peacock comes out of the game defensively. Back to pass, blitz is on, and Nelson throws it just to get rid of it. And the official's not going to call grounding. There was nobody even close to it, and it was obvious what Nelson was doing, and he got away with it. Third down and 7 at the Logan 19.
Logan came hard with McLeod. As McLeod does a little blitz, it comes right over her. And Nelson did all he could do to throw the ball out to the right side. The only person out there was Wade Barrett. He's about 20 yards away from the ball.
Okay, Haas right, or left, make it. Barris right. Split backs, a little play action fake. Nelson throws it back over the middle, and it's low, incomplete. He tried to hit the tight end Toon, and Thornley was on him, so now Bear River will have a fourth down they'll have to pick up here. 4th and 7, and again, they picked up their first downs with little passes over the middle. Let's see if they run a little drag play here to get the first down. They need 7 yards on 4th down.
Well, Nelson he falls and drops back like he's going to throw a screen, but he does actually throw it upfield just past the line of scrimmage, trying to pick up the drag in front of the linebackers.
3 receivers to the left, and now the only running back, Peterson's out here to the right side. And here's a blitz on, and Nelson's running for his life. He gets away from Sampson. He's over here on the sideline. He throws the ball back over there, and it's caught by Stuart Peterson for a first down in traffic. He just threw the ball into a herd of people, and Peterson made the catch inside the 10-yard line, and Bear River has it in goal. They're going to put it on the 5. That's 14 yards.
Well, Nelson did all he could do as he rolls out to the right, trying to get away from Rick Sampson's rush from the outside, and just does a good job. And then he eyes Stuart Peterson at about the 10 and was able to complete the pass.
Doug Perry, the coach of Bear, has got to be happy about this way. His club's come out of the locker room here and taking it right down the field. They're at the 5-yard line here. Slot to the right. Back to pass Nelson. Blitz and sack. Tony Guerrero got there. And Guerrero sacks him. First time he's been sacked at the 14-yard line. That's a loss of 9 on the play.
Tony Guerrero just comes in from the left outside linebacker position on the weak side. And Nelson was looking the whole play down to the left side, the left corner of the end zone. Didn't see Guerrero coming from the backside till it was too late.
Tight end Toons on the right, one of their favorite receivers. Slot to the left, actually a wingback left. Again, here's the pass by Nelson throwing end zone for Haas, and it's caught and then knocked away by Saunders. Nice play by Saunders. I thought for a second Haas would get it for sure, but then ball in the air, Saunders made up a little ground and got his hand in and knocked it away. It's 3rd and goal at the 14.
Looking at Jason Haas in the left corner of the end zone. That was what they were looking for on the previous play when Nelson was sacked. And Saunders does a good job of just making up the ground. The ball floated just a little bit, and Saunders gets up there with his right hand and knocks the ball out of Haas's arms, and it brings up the 3rd down.
Slot to the left. Barris is the slot man to the left. Haas outside of him, and also actually a wingback left, so really trips. They run the fake draw. Here's Nelson throwing back over the middle, and it's low and incomplete, and he hit the back of Jason McLeod, and Danny Holmes is hurt again. He's got to hop off the field. He's hurt his leg. It's another 4th down coming up for Bear River.
Danny Holmes just in there trying to get in on the pass rush. Looked like he might have stepped on somebody's foot as he came through the line of scrimmage, and he's going to take a seat on the bench, and that doesn't look good the way he's reacting, not putting any weight on that left.
I don't know about this. He's going to try a field goal, at least an apparent field goal, although the quarterback, Riley Nelson, is the holder. It is goal to go 4th down at the 14, so they're going to try a field goal, and Haas is a good kicker. This will be about a 30-yard field goal if it's successful. Good snap. Haas kicks it. It's high, and it is good. So they are on the board. They got something out of it. 6:42 left, 3rd quarter. A timeout. Logan 28, Bear River 3. We're back after this timeout. Play Again, for a while here, they got the weekend off, so we have no football for you. They try an onside kick, and it is recovered by the Grizzly. And let's see who got on that football. That was John Haas. Nice job by John in on the special team. He is a senior who doesn't hardly play. And I mean, that's hard to go the whole year and not hardly see a scrimmage down and then get a kick right to you right there and smother it like he did. Good Haas at the 47.
Well, John just lines up to the right side, and usually that front line will just take off when the ball is kicked, but John, being aware of the situation of Bear River, made sure that they didn't kick an outside kick, and they weren't successful at it because John gets on the ball.
Bear River went 17 plays to start this first half before they kick a field goal, and now here's Mike Anderson trying to get into the line, and he's got a tough 2 or 3. We'll wait until they unstack it to see how much he eventually got. That's Bay Jensen making the tackle. I thought he's normally just an offensive player. They're going to mark it up to the 40 or to the 50-yard line, make it a 3-yard run for Mike Anderson. 2nd and 7. Some of those individual totals we didn't look at halftime.
Looking at Logan so far, Anderson has 43 yards on 10 carries. Guerrero, 6 carries for 66 yards. Thornley, 4 for 23. And Arash Malik, 2 for 12. And throwing the ball, Johnson was 7 of 8 with 1 interception. And 133 yards total.
Slot to the right. 2nd and 7 play. Long count by Johnson. Little fake counter in the backfield. Roll out to the right. Got to throw it quickly. A diving catch. Did he get it? Rick Hansen, the official on top of the plate, says yes. Nice catch right off the turf by Rick Hansen, the tight end. He's had a fine game. He catches it at the Bear River 39 for 11 yards and a Logan first down.
Well, that was an awful tough call by the official, but he gave it to Hansen as the ball comes up just off the turf, and the only thing I can see is it possibly got a hand underneath it to make the reception. But again, that's Johnson starting out with good stats again. Looking at the individual receiving totals, Hansen has 2 for 17 yards. Larson caught 1 for 25. Anderson has caught 3 for 49. And Thornley 2 for 53.
Now it's Thornley as the split receiver left, and Dunn inside of him. They're coming with a blitz, so they pitch the ball to Mike Anderson trying to come to this left side. And again, that was Donnie Allred who put a lick on him at about the 35-yard line. And Mike Anderson went down just like he got shot. But he got 4 yards to the 35 as he went down. That's a 4-yard run by Mike.
Well, Donnie Allred is quick, and he comes up, and he virtually wasn't blocked on that play as he came up and tried to fill the gap. Anderson has already broken the line of scrimmage 2 or 3 yards down the field, but once Allred hits Anderson with the shoulder, Anderson goes right down, doesn't get any more yards out of it.
Allred is 6 feet, 199 pounds, so he's got some good size to go along with some speed, and he's only a junior. 4:30 left in the third quarter, 28-3, Logan with the lead, so Bear Rivers avoided the shutout. Back with a play action, Johnson throws the ball. Oh, knocked away. Nice play by Stuart Peterson, the other inside linebacker who knocked it away from Rick Hansen, the intended receiver.
Stuart Peterson just has man-to-man coverage on Rick Hansen as Hansen went down about 10 yards. The little turnaround to look back for the ball. It's a pretty good throw by Johnson. Stuart Peterson with good reaction with the right hand to knock the ball away.
Donnie Allred, I recall, is one of their assistant coaches. Yeah, Denny Allred. And then Hunter Barris, who's Wade Barris' dad, is one of the assistant coaches, and the longtime assistant Bill Bingham. The main guys helping Doug Perry, the coach. Logan now with 3rd down and 6 at the Bear 35. Johnson, a little play action fake a couple of times, rolling out right, throwing, and intercepted by Stuart Peterson. He breaks a tackle from Larson. Peterson still on his feet, thrown around and finally downed at the Bear River 37-yard line. 2nd interception tonight thrown by Jared Johnson. A nice crossing interception by Peterson.
Again, Peterson man-to-man as Johnson was looking for Hansen, dragging across as the planned rollout to the right. Looked like it was there and open, and Hansen just drags and follows the motion of Johnson, but Stuart Peterson right in his hip pocket makes his break to the ball right as the ball is thrown, and that's Johnson's 2nd interception tonight.
They come back to the one-back. That's a 7-yard run back by Peterson after the interception. We have 3:53 to go, and the Philly running back is out of the backfield, and here's Nelson back to pass, and he runs and picks up some yardage. He was tackled by Joel Berglund for Logan. Danny Holmes is still on the bench, and it looks like he's through tonight. Looks like they got an ice pack on the ankle. The run by Nelson make it out to the 41-yard line. He gained 4. It's 2nd down and 6. Jason Haas brings in the play, and Nelson will call it at the line of scrimmage. We're on KVNU Logan. Al Lewis with Mike Hansen right here at Bear River High School, where the Bears trail 28-3, but they have the ball back. And here's Nelson going long for Barris. It's a bump and a catch by Barris. And now Barris cuts back, and he's going to score a touchdown. Nobody will catch him. Saunders tries and doesn't at the goal line. Once he ran up the back of Sedgwick, knocking him away from having a chance to play defense. Then Barris was able to score. That is a 59-yard pass play, and all of a sudden, Bear River's back in the football game, folks.
It's a little timing pattern. Just a streak down the sideline, down the right side, just straight up the field. Catches the ball about the 35-yard line, but as Sedgwick and Thornley come over to make the play, he pushes off a little bit to get some room between he and the defensive back. And, of course, the official didn't call it as he makes the play. Thornley misses the tackle, and he breaks down the center of the field. Shows some great speed to get away from Saunders. Almost caught him at the goal line, but now Bear River's climbing back in the game.
Haas to try the point after, and the kick is once again high and good, and we have a timeout with 3:07 left in the third quarter, getting a little more tense now with a 10-0 start by Bear River in the half. It's 28-10, Logan with the lead. Timeout. Here's Haas kicking. This time he kicks it higher and deeper, but not real deep. Anderson gets it at the 20. Mike Anderson gets hit pretty good as he gets across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It looks like where they'll mark it. The Bear River tackler on the play was Shane Nelson. First and 10 at the 33 for Logan, and I think it's very important now for Logan to move the ball and get some. I mean, Bear River's now scored a quick 10.
Well, there's 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter, but Bear River has all the momentum here in the second half, and Perry Christensen and Johnson for the Grizzlies are going to have to come up with something to get the ball moving. Got to get away from the turnovers. Bear River does a good job of taking advantage of the Johnson interception on that previous drive.
Okay, split backs. Skyview, or make it Mountain Crest and Ogden are tied 7-7. That could be interesting if Ogden pulls that one out. They'd have 2 region wins. Here's the outside run by Guerrero that he scored on earlier. This time Eric Anderson makes a nice play, their outside linebacker, to hold it to a short gain at the 36. 3-yard run by Tony. It's 2nd down and 7. Let me also mention the Comfort Inn. Again, how about a getaway without leaving town? A lot of you don't have the time to get all the way away. How about just a night away at the Comfort Inn? Good spot. They've got some getaway packages. Check with them in Logan at the Comfort Inn. 2:10 left, third quarter. Bear Rivers come out and scored the first 10 of the second half after Logan led 28-0 at intermission. Receivers to this left side, the short side of the field. Here's a handoff to Guerrero again, and again Anderson made the tackle, but Guerrero fights it near a first down. Nice run by Tony, carrying Anderson with him. Finally, Bobby Barrett also in on the stop, just short of a first down. He runs to the 42. It's a 6-yard run and 3rd and a yard for Logan.
75 yards rushing now on 8 carries for Tony Guerrero. Really credit Mike Anderson on the lead block. Again, they've run that same play about 4 or 5 times so far tonight, and Anderson's really done the job blocking on that play each time.
High formation, Guerrero ahead of Anderson. Logan needs a long yard. Here's Johnson to Anderson, breaks the tackle, got a first down. Tell you, they really shot some gaps and tried to stop the play. They tried to smell it out, and Logan went a little more wide than they thought they would. Quentin Stevens made the tackle. 2-yard run, first down Logan.
That's what Perry and the Grizzlies needed with 1:14 in the clock running here in the third quarter. Try to get a first down, try to keep their defense off the field, because Bear River is doing a job offensively now, as Logan finally gave up their big play that we talked about, them giving up.
You know, the last
previous
little while they've kind of started to watch that a little bit, haven't they?
Yes.
I think give up the 59-yard pass play to Barris for the score. Now the offset eye. 1st and 10 play. Now in motion goes Guerrero. Here's a pitch to Anderson to this side of the field. Anderson down the field, breaks across the 50, 45, breaks a tackle to the 40, showing the speed, trying to catch him is Clint Thomas, and he does inside the 30-yard line of Bear River. In fact, it's down to about the 17 or 18-yard line. Wow, some downfield blocking was excellent once he ran away from Stuart Peterson, who came across the field and almost made the tackle.
And it was Bobby Barrett also that was in to try to knock Anderson down to his feet, and now we have an injured Grizzly.
It's Anderson.
Anderson looks like maybe I can't tell what the working ankle or maybe a cramp or something there, but Bobby Barrett was actually hurt as Anderson ran over the top of him and just kept charging down the field, and it was fortunate for Bear River that Clint Thomas has good speed at 5'8", 155 to catch him to save the touchdown.
38-yard run by Anderson. Thornley's coming in for Mike, and Mike's still down. Let's hope that's not serious. He's had a lot of nagging things that really haven't got him out this year.
not out for the season, but he seems to leave almost every game.
You know, let's hope that he and Holmes and some of these people who are getting some injuries will be okay for the playoffs next week.
Well, they'll have an extra day to kind of rehab, maybe an extra day or two, the way the schedule's
getting
working
up,
out.
But he's not putting any weight much on that leg. That's, well, now he's putting a little.
Seems to me like he's, you know, he's been hobbled almost each game and come out late in the third or fourth quarter, but he seems to come back the next week, but he's a little bit injury prone, and he's coming out of the game now, and Thornley's in.
Well, we've already seen Mallett go out. Now we've seen Anderson, so now it's in at tailback for Logan. The Grizzlies are at the 18 of the Bears, and here's Thornley with a handoff, and right on him was Nelson, and they're spinning him around, and no gain on the play. Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby Barrett was the guy who got him. I thought it was Shane Nelson, but it's Bobby Barrett. No gain, ball still at the 18-yard line.
Looks like the walking wounded down there on that Logan bench with Danny Holmes trying to get his ankle back in shape, and now Anderson sitting down injured. But Logan also has Jake Jensen. He's a 5'10", 160 sophomore that could come in and play some tailback for the Grizzlies, so maybe look for him here in the second half.
Well, he's carried the ball 4 or 5 times this year, 5 times. Now Thornley's out of the backfield into a slot left on 2nd and 10 at the 18 of the Bears. Larson outside of him, and somebody has lined up offside or encroached before the play started. Oh, that's the end of the quarter, sorry. So it's 28-10 at the end of the third quarter, and we're back to the fourth quarter after this timeout. They're now in an area where they possibly can points.
And I guess one important thing for Perry, too, is that with that time going off the clock, that allows the defense to rest and allows the defensive coordinators to come up with something to stop the Bear River offense that really couldn't be stopped much there in the third quarter.
They converted 2 fourth downs and 1 third down on their first possession and kept the ball about 5 minutes and 18 seconds or something for the first 3 points of this half. And then, after an interception by Peterson on the second play, they threw a 59-yard touchdown. Okay, slot to the left. Dunn to the right side. In the slot is Thornley. Back to pass Johnson. He throws it to Thornley. Thornley's got it. Break back. One tackler. Good cut in the field, and he'll score. What a play. Mark Thornley stops on a dime and scores. 18-yard touchdown, the first play of the fourth quarter.
Thornley lines up in the slot, then runs a little 5-yard out, and he gets outside of the defensive back that's on him, and as he makes the catch, he puts the initial move on the guy covering him, and then as the inside-out pursuit gets over there, he just stops and breaks it back to the middle of the field, and all the momentum of the Bear River defenders takes him right past him, and he goes in for the Grizzly touchdown.
Now, Dunn, they need somebody else on the field, and Stephen Dersch is running on now, and now they think they've got enough, so Dersch will come off the field. Dunn will try to point after. There's a low snap. They get it there. The kick by Morrison is good. And we're going to keep it here. We have 11:53 to go in this wild, high-scoring type game. We haven't seen this kind of game from Logan really this year. Grizzlies now up to their season high by far of 35 points. And that is a very important touchdown, that series.
Well, Logan is only averaging about 16 yards a game coming into this one, so they're doubling their output average for the season. But they're doing a good job, and Perry Christensen really took that offense aside and said, hey, we need to get something done. Bear River scored on their first 2 possessions of the second half, and now Logan has increased their lead by 25 points, leading 35-10.
Now, also, Tony Guerrero was a little bit shaken up after that last touchdown pass. I see he's getting some attention from Tim Treesize right now. Mike Anderson's still on the bench. Perry Christensen's over-checking the injured guys right now. Danny Holmes is still out. That was a 6-play drive. Logan went 67 yards. Again, a lot of it because of Mike Anderson's run. Anderson ran that one for 38 yards. It kind of got it down there. And then the 18-yard touchdown pass, Johnson to Mark Thornley. Let's see, is that Mark Thornley's first touchdown catch of the year? It is. And that's what, the 3rd touchdown tonight thrown by Johnson. Kick towards Barris. He's a dangerous one. It spins up to him at about the 14. He lost a lot of his blockers, and Logan gets downfield, but Barris still does a pretty good job of bringing it back 11 yards. He was tackled on the play by Jepson down the field to make the play. That's Milo Jepson. So that's an 11-yard run back, and the Bears probably will use a lot more of their no-huddle. And they came out and pounded it at Logan the first time, but again, now they don't have the time to run one of those 5-minute drives like they did to start the second half.
No, they're going to have to score 4 touchdowns if they want to get back into the game. So they can look for them to throw the ball in the air as they come out with a slot to the right.
Judkins is inside of Hawes out to the right side, and now Peterson floods that right side with 3 receivers, and Barris is on the left, and he's running for pay as he throws for the wide receiver. No, it's the back. Peterson out, and it was McLeod on the rush that almost got Nelson and forced him to throw it away incomplete. Jason McLeod, nice rush.
Well, he's been doing that all night long. He comes in from his right inside linebacker position. He follows that lead block and sees what the offensive line is doing, and then he is little planned blitz there as he blitzes to the inside and really forced Nelson to really throw the ball.
2nd and 10 play. Nelson tonight now 6 of 21 for 108 yards. 1 score the last time they had the ball. Now they go slot this side. Logan shoots again. They throw an underneath screen, and it's caught, and wow! The Grizzly read that play. Thornley, has he made some hits tonight? It was caught by Anger, but Anger catches it for a loss. That's a pass completion and a 1-yard loss to the 24-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Keep in mind, Thornley comes up from the free safety position to make that play. That's a long ways for him to come, but he saw that the offensive line, and Nelson, that's the Grizzlies in there trying to set up the screen. He reads that as a defensive back. Made a great play there.
Now again, 3 receivers to this side and 1 running back, and Nelson's in the shotgun, and Logan encroaches. And it was Steve Dirch, but Dirch is pointing at the offensive line saying that they moved. The umpire comes right in, and I think the penalty is going to go on Bear River. Yep, illegal procedure on the Bears. We have 10:42 to go. Our cellular broadcast tonight, Bear River High School. Again, next week, the playoffs. If Logan finishes with the lead tonight, they'll go in as the #1 seed. They will play a team that has to come in off of a playoff game. It's what, the 4th place teams in Region 6 and 7 that play each other?
Yes.
And so that means no doubt that right over the back of Toon to make the interception, broke on the ball, and the Grizzlies have it at the 30, and there is the first career interception for the guy we had on the pregame show, Jared Sedgwick.
Well, Sedgwick's done a great job all year on man-to-man coverage, and that time Toon, the tight end, comes right into Sedgwick's zone. Sedgwick reads the play, and right in the middle of the field, and Sedgwick just makes a great play on the ball, and just wanted the ball more, I guess, than Toon, because Toon really didn't come back to it, and Sedgwick just makes a great interception. And Bear River, their clock is really running against them now.
USU Community Credit Union, again, a bank with a bonus, owned and operated by you and your neighbors. You never talk to strangers at the USU Community Credit Union, one of our game sponsors. Wide receivers left and right in I formation with Thornley at the tail of the tandem, and Jensen is running at the fullback spot, and Thornley cracks for just about a yard, and that's about it. Bobby Barrett made the tackle. Now they're going to mark it a 1-yard run to the 29-yard line. We're also brought to you tonight by Deseret Industries. Again, they got a lot of good ideas for Halloween costumes. Check with Deseret Industries. 2nd and 9. You hear the Logan cheerleaders down below here and making a lot of noise. Logan fans have had a good night here at Fremont, leading 35-10. Here's Johnson handing it off to Thornley, looking for a hole. He's got a little bit of room through the middle, and Thornley's across the 25. He's in the grasp of Bear River's John Howard, who made the tackle. No, that was Jeff Tyre who made the tackle, and the run by Thornley is down to about the 22-yard line. That's a 7-yard run. 3rd and 2 coming up.
I'm looking for Tony Guerrero down on the sideline. He was shaken up just a little bit as on that touchdown pass to Thornley. He was out protecting Johnson, the quarterback, and he was shaken up a bit. And I'm sure they're just holding him out if he was shaking up and allowing the playing time out there for Jensen.
Looked like they were either looking at an elbow or like his ribs or something. Here's Thornley. No, nothing there. And Thornley tried to go on a second effort, and it didn't result in anything. Again, it was the same guy who made the play on the play before, Jeff Tyre, who kind of filled the hole, and that's a loss. Back to the 24-yard line. He lost 2. It's 4th down, and now Morrison will come back and try again. He, remember, kicked a field goal attempt of 48 yards in the first half, and it hit the crossbar right down the middle. So can he kick one a little shorter? Let's see. It'll be from the 31, the placement, so this would be a 41-yard try. Aaron Bracken's now running in late. Clock running. They're going to have to hurry to get this one off.
Oh, he can further. He wants to see if he can.
Yeah, look, they're starting to count now, so they got to hurry. Logan tries to get set. Nope, they didn't make it. It's a delay of game penalty. They didn't get the timeout even called. Perry Christensen was trying to get a timeout called, and now he may decide to punt the ball. Although in high school football, there's Guerrero now. He's talking to Tony. And I guess maybe he was not in the game, or at least hadn't informed whoever replaced him that he needed to be in the game.
There wasn't a timeout called, I don't believe. Perry's walking out on the field with Tony Guerrero. Now he's going to call the timeout. There we go.
Now Perry calls a timeout after the 5-yard penalty. We'll take a timeout with 7:51 to go, and the score is 35-10, Logan. The penalty moved it back 5 yards. He tried to kick a 46-yard field goal, and this one was not as close. This one kicked wide to the left and short. In high school football, again, from wherever, the ball goes to the 20-yard line if you kick it into the end zone. So that's it's just like punting, really, almost there. You might as well try to get the point. So Bear River starts at the 20, and the score in the game is 35-10. And the one official is standing back here with the football, and they needed a ball to run the play. The back judge had the ball. Now they go to the shotgun, Bear River does. 2 receivers, they run a draw to Allred, and Mark James smelled that out, and it's a loss. James crashing down as everybody was coming on the blitz. Tell you, it's a great play to run against the blitz, the draw, but unfortunately, Allred ran right into James and the other linebacker, McLeod. It's a loss of 2 back to the 18-yard line.
Logan has been susceptible all year to that draw. Of course, leading 35-10, the Grizzlies are. The Bear River Bears trailing by 25 points, so they have to do something, and they're just trying to cross up Logan. Logan expecting the pass, but James did a good job of filling there and making the ball.
Nelson again trying to throw. Now he's running out to the right. He throws it back, and it was caught, yes, by the receiver over there, who was Haas. Haas caught it right with Sedgwick on him, back at the 20. That's a 2-yard pass completion. It'll be 3rd down. Phillies beat I want to keep putting the Braves in the World Series. Phillies beat the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0 tonight. So the World Series now 3-2 for Philadelphia. It goes back to Toronto Saturday night. Blue Jays just wanted to win it at home, probably. Huh?
A little different scenario tonight than we saw last night.
You know, and a lot of people were expecting that after last night's 15-14 game. They expected that tonight would be. And Kurt Schilling had to pitch, they said, a big game, and it sounds like he did. 1 running back, 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Here's Allred faking, blitzed, slipped a bit, runs, and did not get the first down because David Bunch got the back of his leg and tripped him up. McLeod was there to finish him. Runs to the 24-yard line, a 4-yard scramble, but it'll be 4th down. And with 6:05 to go, Coach Doug Perry feels the need to punt.
Well, of course, if they don't make it here, that puts Logan in another scoring threat or scoring situation. Gives a lot of credit to Joel Berglund. He did a good job to get in there and flush the quarterback out of the pocket to allow Bunch to get the play.
Thornley's back, and Nelson does punt. Again, it's high and not deep like it's been all night. It bounces and, again, takes a great Bear River bounce, though. Goes inside the 40, and it's going to die on the 35-yard line. So, again, the Bears will have to play defense against the Grizzlies. That's the first punt of the second half. Bear River came out and got 10 on their first 2 possessions. And Logan threw an interception and then got a touchdown pass and then missed a field goal. So that's the first punt of the second half. That goes 41 yards, his best punt of the night.
We see a lot of substitutions now for the Grizzlies as Tom Eastman comes in the game. Also, Nilo Jensen's in the game, play some offense. Johnson will stay in at quarterback, but you're seeing some of the younger guys getting in there, getting some good playing time. 5:20 in the clock running here in the 4th quarter. Perry feels like the game's in hand. Let's get some of the JV and sophomore players in there to get them some experience.
Your Valley recycling leader, Valley Metals, bringing you tonight's game. Offset eye and motion Jepson. Fake the pitch. I don't know if that's a broken play, but Jared Johnson runs for some yardage. Tackled by Barrett as he gets it out to the 39-yard line. A 4-yard run by Jared Johnson. He's big, but shows this year that he can run the ball. Hey, remember the run he made, what was it, against Mountain Crest when he rolled out to the left side and then just stopped on a dime and then went straight up the field for about 6 or 7 yards one time?
And that was a broken play. I think there was just a mix-up in the backfield of which way that play was going to run. And Johnson just did what he could with it and got a pretty good gain out of it.
John Hoth is now getting a chance to play some offensive snaps at guard. He's in there right now. Here's the 2nd down and about 6 play, and Modon, now they get the pitch to Thornley, coming to this outside. Grizzlies block for him. Jake Jensen, and Thornley gets hit real hard as he gets up near the 45, which was the first down. He's just shy of it, and then he got pushed back. They'll mark it on the 44, 5-yard run. Be third down and a yard for the Grizzlies with 4:10 left in the game. And our broadcast also brought to you tonight by Thorn Apple Valley Tri-Miller. Again, always great pork products from Thorn Apple Valley Tri-Miller, but don't forget, they also have turkey, sandwich, meats, delicious hams, bringing you the best. Thorn Apple Valley Tri-Miller in Hiram. Larson out to the left side, 3rd and a yard. I formation, Thornley ahead, and I believe it's Jake Jensen, yes, who gets the fake handoff, and then Thornley carries it, breaks the tackle. 50-yard line, Bear River 47, a key first down for Logan. Tackle made by Stevens and Haddock, and that's the first time we mentioned Haddock in a while.
Well, we've been mentioning Allred almost every play defensively for Bear River. Now Thornley rushing the ball has 34 yards. Let's see, 34 yards. Yeah, 34 yards on 8 carries.
Grizzlies now in the game, Mike, are 4 out of 8 on 3rd downs. Bear River tonight, incidentally, is 1 of 10, 1 of 11 on 3rd downs. He did convert a couple of 4th downs. Larson left side. Another wide receiver, a younger player, is in on this side, and here's Johnson handing it off, and Thornley cradling the ball, and he gets to the Bear 45 with 3:04 to go, and Logan leading 35-10. Now running into the game for Logan is Joseph Roylett, a sophomore, to play on the offensive line. 2-yard run there by Mark Thornley.
Well, Thornley's shaking up a little bit as he's going to come out. Looks like he may have twisted an ankle or something. Boy, the Grizzlies are going to have suffered a lot of injuries tonight. They've got to watch it here. They've got the steps coming up next week. You can't afford to lose all your players. Looks like Thornley just has a cramp, so that should be okay.
Justin Wilkinson is now checked in at the tailback spot. Split backs behind Johnson. He fumbled the ball and just falls on it. Johnson does. That's the first fumble of the game tonight, I think, on either side, isn't it? No, Johnson fumbled it on the 2-point play that doesn't count into the end zone, but that was the only other fumble. That was a center exchange fumble. Loss of a yard. Be 3rd and 9, coming up with 2:12 to play in the game. Logan looks like they have this one, and they'll have the #1 seed and at least a co-region championship. The last time we heard, Mount Creston Ogden were 7-7 in the 4th quarter. Larson left. Again, another new player is out to the right. And here's a handoff to Jake Jensen. Flag. That'll probably bring this play back, which was a 1st down run, but the umpire threw it right to where one of the Grizzly blockers was blocking.
Well, they were blocking Stuart Peterson on the blitz, and to save the play, they just kind of brought Peterson to the ground, and unfortunately for Jensen, this is going to come back.
It's one of the first major penalties we've had in quite a while. Now lots of new people are running in. We got Steve Niederhausen running into the game to play as an outside receiver. Got to make his brother Nate, who's down in the Valley Channel truck, happy. All right, they mark it back to the 41-yard line of Logan, so that is a 15-yard penalty from where it happened. From the line of scrimmage, actually, they mark it from point of infraction. Clock now down to 1:35. Logan has 3rd and real long. 3rd about 22 or 3. In motion comes Ryan Anderson. It's a handoff to Jake Jensen, and Jensen carries it up to the 44. A 3-yard run for Jensen. It'll be 4th down, and now Logan will punt the ball with 1:15 to go.
So Logan just to run out the clock and try to get set for next week as Nate Dunn will step back to punt the ball to Anger and to Barris.
This is what, Perry Christensen's 15th season at Logan, is that right? 15 years, I think it is. Now Logan uses a timeout with 58 seconds. We'll take our last timeout right here, and then we'll be back. It's 35-10, Logan with the lead. Region championship. He shared 4 of them and won 2 of them outright. But again, what a run this Grizzly team has had now the last little while. I mean, you're playing the 3 rivals you have on your schedule. Bear was trying to block this one, and Dunn kicks it away. Dunn thought he got hit. There's no flag. It's a Logan bounce on the punt. It goes inside the 20, dies at the 23-yard line. I think referee Don Dinsdale just wants to go home, and that's why he didn't call a penalty there. It's down to the 23-yard line, so that's a 30-yard punt under pressure, and so Bear River will have 46 37 seconds to finish off the regular season, but again, they're still alive towards the playoffs. Again, they will tie with Ben Lomond, could tie with Ogden, I guess, and they lost to Ogden, but beat Ben Lomond, so that would have to be some kind of playoff. They'd flip a coin for one spot and playoff probably for another one. Slot to this side. Here's the quarterback handing it off to Jones, who played quite a bit there in that first drive, and Jones chugs his way to about the 24-yard line. Clock still running. Doesn't look like Bear River's even going to try to stop. 1-yard run by Jones. 18 seconds to play. Bear River's going to try to run one more offensive play, and everybody for Logan, I think, has played tonight. Running into the game now is Matt Toon, a sophomore, replacing Mark James. Here's the last play of the game, right here. Nelson hands it off. The run by Bear River's Turnus. He fumbled the ball, recovered it, and that's the end of the ball game. And the Grizzlies have the #1 seed going into the 4A playoffs and probably are headed for a game on Saturday at Crimson Field this next week. The final score is 35-10, and we'll be back to start our post-game report. And hopefully, again, Perry Christensen will join us, and we'll be back after this timeout. No gain. Win, and there's a chance Logan may be the outright region champions, because right now Mountain Crest is in overtime with Ogden. 7-7 is the score of their game, and we'll keep you updated on that one. Right at the start, the first score of the game, Tony Guerrero, the 42-yard run 2 minutes into the game, and Mike, you and I have decided that's probably the Schaefer House Suite play of the game for the Valley Channel viewers, because it just kind of set the tone right off the bat. Yeah. Logan took advantage and got down there and did it big.
Logan got good field position, and then Tony Guerrero showed some great speed, and they work all night for the Grizzlies. And you're right, it did set the tone, and it gave the offense some good momentum, and it gave the defense something of a cushion, so they came out with confidence, and I think that's the play that really set this game up for Perry Christensen.
So again, Tony Guerrero's 42-yard run to start the ball game. The point after by Morrison, 7-0, 2 minutes into the game. The Grizzlies had the lead, and that's our Schaefer House play of the game. Then the next score by the Grizzlies was Jared Johnson throwing to Mike Anderson an 11-yard touchdown pass with 4:42 to play. The point after by Morrison made it 14-0. Then in the second quarter, Guerrero got his second touchdown of the night on a 4-yard run, and then they tried to run for 2 points, and it failed, and the Grizzlies led by a score of 20-0. And then after another Bear River punt, Jared Johnson threw his second touchdown pass of the night. He hit Rick Hansen on a 6-yard pass with 2:01 to play in the half. Johnson then ran the 2-point play. He fumbled it into the end zone. It was recovered, we think, by either Holmes for the 2-point play, and it was 28-0 at half. Logan had one other scoring chance, and that's when Morrison's 48-yard field goal hit the crossbar. Now Bear River comes out and starts the second half. They go 17 plays, 74 yards. They convert 2 fourth downs, and finally Logan got the only sack of the night, I think, on Nelson by Guerrero. Put him back at the 14-yard line, and they threw a couple of incompletions. They finally decided to kick a field goal on 4th down, and Haas kicked the 30-yard field goal for Bear River with 6:42 to play in the third quarter. It's 28-3. Then after Stuart Peterson's interception, the Bears started at the 37, got one running play. That was a scramble run by Nelson to the 41, and then Nelson threw a fade pass over here to the right sideline, and it was Wade Barris who took it away from Jared Sedgwick. And so Nelson and Barris connect on a 59-yard pass play with 3:07 to play in the third quarter. Haas gets the point after. It's 28-10. Really, the capper of the night is when Logan turned right around and came back, got a nice big run by Mike Anderson of 38 yards that kind of helped set it up. They also got a 26-yard pass, I think it was, in there, and they got it down to about the 18-yard line, and then it was Johnson hitting Thornley on the first play of the fourth quarter on an 18-yard touchdown. That was a great little short pass, and then Thornley made a great run. Point after by Morrison made it 35-10. There was no more scoring in the game, but really that last touchdown kind of took away anything Bear River had built up.
Well, Bear River had all the momentum in the second half, and we mentioned as we went to break after the touchdown by Bear River that Logan and Perry Christensen at least had to get a couple of first downs to get something going and sustained to allow the defense to rest and maybe make some adjustments to the Bear River offense. And what that is, they took it down the field and got a touchdown. And so I think you're right, Al. That just took the momentum away from Bear River as they felt like they were getting back in the ball game. They're only down by about 18 points. There's still plenty of room and a lot of game, but when they went down 35-10, that was really kind of what took the wind out of their sails, so to speak, and they just kind of coasted the rest of the ways as Logan's defense stiffened up, and Bear River couldn't do anything offensively after that.
Bear River ends up tonight with 149 yards of offense, but again, Mike, they get 59 of that on one play. So they really only have 99 yards of offense in 41 offensive plays, other than the one big play. And the Grizzlies have 50 offensive plays tonight, 384 yards. It's by 30 yards their best offensive game of the year. They had 222 yards rushing, and that is their best running game of the season, except for last week against Skyview. They missed it by 3 yards. 162 yards passing, misses by 2 yards of being their best passing game of the season. But Jared Johnson tonight, 9 for 12. He did throw a couple of interceptions, but he threw 3 touchdowns and 162 yards. Or he threw 4 touchdowns and 160 throwing the ball.
Well, Johnson seemed to have confidence all night. I think after playing in the mud last week and didn't have any footing, he probably just thought it was wonderful out there as the offensive line's able to sustain blocks. He's able to plant. He's able to step up into the ball and get into the throw. And he threw with a lot of confidence, had a lot of zip on the ball, and threw it in there. And the receivers, of course, do a good job of hanging on to the football. But really credit Johnson for a great ball game tonight.
Let me go back. He did have 3 touchdown passes on the night, not 4. He had 3, 2 touchdown runs by Guerrero. Okay, that'll do it then for the Valley Channel Game of the Week, viewers. We hope you've enjoyed it tonight, and their sponsors have brought it to you. And I'm Al Lewis with Mike Hansen. The technical crew's done a great job with the Valley Channel. We hope you enjoy watching the football game that may have given Logan the outright region title, depending on what happened in the overtime with Mountain Crest and Ogden. So again, the final score, 35-10. Good night on the Valley Channel, and we'll return with more on KVNU on the postgame after this timeout.